G'day everyone, and welcome back to Derriere Farms with me, Farmer Jay. I thought I would just confirm what we talked about in the last video, and it turns out the rumors are true. Giants today confirmed that Kubota will be the next tractor brand, and I'm guessing pretty much the last tractor brand to join the Farming Simulator 22 family. It will be Pack 2 of the Seasons Pass, but you can purchase it individually. So let's have a quick look at what was announced. Okay, so Kubota is finally entering the Farming Simulator universe. They released a little trailer last week, and a lot of you guessed the right brand. The upcoming expansion included in Year 1 Season Pass for Farming Simulator 22 is actually Kubota. There will be 11 new machines and tools, as well as a new feature from multiplayer fans included. It's coming June 28th for PC and consoles. And I will be covering any other details they release, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Not just for Kubota news, but for other news too, as I do make videos all the time. Okay, so welcoming Kubota with new vehicles and tools. I'll visit the page and show you the specs of each of these vehicles after we finish reviewing what Giants has to say. Included in the pack is the Kubota M8, the largest tractor of the multinational corporation that originated in Osaka, Japan over 130 years ago. That's 180 to 200 horsepower, I know that much, as Kubota doesn't make anything over 200 horsepower. Also included are the M5, M6, and M7 series, as well as a wheel loader, skid steer loader, and other heavy machinery by Kubota to handle day-to-day farming tasks, like loading and transporting goods with modern, versatile, and powerful tools. I'll give you my opinion on that later. Two UTVs, like the popular Sidekick, can quickly deliver products, or even your friends. Up to 4 people can ride in the Kubota RTV X1140, with 3 players in the passenger seats of the utility vehicle. Fans of the brand who want to show off their affiliation can also find company-branded Kubota clothes in the virtual wardrobe. There is a caveat on passages, and we'll go into that in a little bit. So there's the official list, as they kind of already mentioned, of the M8, M7, M6, M5, M72, LA 225, R60, SSV 75, SVL 97-2, and then the 2 rugged terrain vehicles, I guess. They don't label what those are, but like I said, we will find out in a minute. Get in the passenger seat. With the Kubota Pack comes another neat feature, which they've already talked about. Most interesting for multiplayer farming: functional passenger seats. Not just for the mentioned UTVs by Kubota, but for all UTVs, cars, and trucks. Near as I can tell from the forums, like they said, this is a multiplayer feature. So you won't be able to, in single player, have an AI driver and you ride around in the passenger seat. So if you want to drive to the dealership with your friends to acquire some new equipment, you can share a ride. The Kubota Seasons Pack is required to use this feature. And then they talk about June 28th again being the release date. And then, of course, they are, as usual, pushing the season's pass. I'm still torn on whether that's a good value or not, especially considering the Antonio Carrero pack was 10 tractors that really didn't do too much. I guess it's very much up to you whether you see value in the season's pass or not. Alright, let's move to the official page and we'll take a look at the detailed specs on each tractor. So, if you don't want to buy the season's pass, you can, as usual, buy the Kubota Pack separately, and until June 27th, it is 8% off at $11.99 American. Okay. A little bit of history, as they already went into, as to the fact that the Kubota originates in Japan, Osaka to be specifically, and the release date's the 28th, which we already know. Okay, so here are the vehicles. The first vehicle that's included is the Kubota M5 series small tractor. And unfortunately, these pictures don't expand. So hopefully they're clear on your screen. This is a 92 to 106 horsepower tractor with a maximum speed of 35 kilometers an hour. Next up, we have the M6 series, which is also in, well, they're all in, I won't say all, but to me, they're all in small horsepower tractors, as they're less than 200 horsepower. This one is 104 to 141 horsepower with a maximum speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Next up, we have the M7 series, which I guess will be found in medium tractors. Like I said, it baffles me because it's still below 200 horsepower. This one is 128 to 168 horsepower with a maximum speed of 50 kilometers an hour. And finally, the big boy, the Kubota M8 series. Also to be found in medium tractors. It's 180 to 200 horsepower. Alright, next we have the Kubota R640, which is a front loader, 61 horsepower and travels at a whopping 18 kilometers an hour. The Kubota SSV75, which is a skid steer loader. Apparently these will work with all in-game skid steer and front loader attachments. This one is 68 horsepower and travels at 18 kilometers per hour. The next skid steer is the SVL 97-2, 96 horsepower and also 18 kilometers an hour. Note, this one is tracked while the other one is wheeled. And then finally we have the two, I'll call them ATVs or RTVs as they're called. The first one is 25 horsepower with 40 kilometer an hour speed, and it can carry up to 280 to 1,000 liters of product depending on how it's configured, and it will carry a driver and 3 passengers. The final piece of vehicle, or the final vehicle, is the Kubota XG850 Sidekick, which will travel at 65 kilometers an hour, so not too bad. It's 49 horsepower, but it only carries 430 liters and will only carry 1 passenger. Rounding out the pack is the equipment. You have the LA 2255 front loader for the tractors, and this is tractors around in the 100 horsepower range. And then the M77 front loader is 140 plus up to the 200 horsepower range. So that in a nutshell is the Kubota Pack. Now here's something I just noticed and hasn't really been talked about. The pack will require version 1.6 or higher. That would mean we're on version 1.41 right now. That would mean there's going to be a version 1.5, which I'm guessing is coming out with the AGI Westfield DLC. Maybe. Giants are very tight-lipped about their patches. And then they will obviously have to put in place patch 1.6 to enable the multiplayer support for passengers in vehicles. And any other bugs that exist in game. Now they have said in the upcoming patch, I'm guessing 1.5, that they will be removing the pallet limit. So keep our fingers crossed that that comes out sooner than later. Alright, my opinion on this pack. I think it's a better rounded out pack than the first pack they released, the Ontario Carrero, especially as the tractors can use front end loaders. There's some skid steers, front loaders, and the two ATVs or RTVs. I was hoping, to be quite honest, for a little bit more. As somebody pointed out in the comments section of the last video, their mini excavators would have been a neat addition to the game, but unfortunately the game doesn't really have support for excavators yet, unless you use a third-party mod, which Giants doesn't have incorporated into the game. And if they do incorporate it, I don't see it being incorporated until the next version of Farming Simulator. So yes, I'm reasonably happy. I mean, I'm happy Kubota's in the game. I'm reasonably happy with the selection. I'm not sure where it's going to fit in on my farms, as I like to have big farms. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that it's either my farms are either Case or they are John Deere. Mainly because you can keep the lineup anywhere from 140 to 667-ish horsepower. But anyway, that's not the point. My point was that I was hoping that they would have introduced a few of the implements, whether it's mowers, spreaders, tedders, or round balers. Just a little bit more branded equipment. Now, on the flip side, I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Millennial Farmer. It might have been Ryan from How Farms Work. But one of them went to the latest agricultural show and was looking at the Kubota lineup of equipment, and they said, oh, so basically Kverlin now with the Kubota name on it, which is very true, as they now own Kverlin. Rappers, power harrows, they make rakes. Yeah, pretty much everything that's covered here is already covered in terms of what we have had released in the game so far in terms of Kverlin equipment. Okay, so after perusing the Kubota website for a little while, like I said, the backhoes and stuff like that aren't really relevant because there's no support for them in the game at the moment. And most of the equipment, like hay rakes and mowers and stuff, we do already have the Kverland equivalent. So I think Giants were are kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't position, where if they'd included more of the equipment, people would have said, we've already got that. But I guess not everyone is always going to be happy. I will definitely do a review on this when it comes out and let you know my opinion on the details, the sounds, and everything else. I do have this year one seasons pass, so I will be getting it whether I like it or not. Well, anyway, go ahead in the comments section and let me know what you think of this pack, whether you're excited about it or whether you think it's too similar to some of the existing equipment we have in the game, and whether you're happy with the choice, if you are happy about Kubota being introduced and the selection of equipment. Like I said, I'm curious to know what you all think. And let me know where, if you are going to be using the Kubota equipment, where it will fit in on your farm. Okay, thanks for watching. Like I said, stay tuned, subscribe, as there will be more videos coming. Thanks for watching. Jay.